Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're in a world that I haven't built in what feels like forever. We're actually in Moonwood Mill and we're on the, I believe it's a 30 by 30 lot. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the actual lot, but it will be up in the top left hand corner of the screen, and I'll also obviously make sure to put it in the description as I always do. But basically we're on the lot that if you start a new game, this lot usually is it's empty. There's no one living here, there's nothing built on it or anything like that. So that's where we're going to be building today, and we're going to be building a community lot. So as you guys could probably tell from the title of the video, this is going to be a restaurant slash bar kind of lot. Now, because it is in the Werewolves world, and obviously because it is for my save file, again, could probably tell that from the title, but I do have a little bit more of a backstory for this community lot than I would usually have for my community lots. But first off, I do want to say that it is, like I said, a restaurant slash bar. It can function as either. I do make sure that it meets the requirements for both of those different lot types. And if you do want to run it as a restaurant, I do have it uploaded to the gallery as a restaurant. So you will if you download it, you'll get the custom menu that I set up and the custom I guess, yeah, basically employee outfits. I made sure to set all of that up as well. So all of that will work perfectly fine. I have it kind of themed for this restaurant. And obviously because it is in Moonwood Mill, it's very it's very werewolves themed. I'm not gonna lie. It's very werewolves themed, very little bit more run down, older shack kind of vibes, if that makes sense, just because that fits the vibe of this world and the items that came with the pack. I also do use quite a few things, I think, from the ranches pack. I know I used these spandrels, I think, and I think I might have used columns, yeah, from the ranches. It's not the ranches pack, it's the horse ranch pack, but I for some reason keep calling it the ranches pack. And then I know I used a couple of things from Get Together. I used some things from Eco Lifestyle as well, fit in really well with all of the corrugated metal and things like that. And Strangerville fit in really well with the vibe that I was going for. But basically, this is a restaurant, and the bar, I guess you could say, portion of it is technically that old bus out front. That's where I have the bar, because it's kind of a nod to the original Houndstooth, I believe, or is it Houndstooth or Grimtooth? I think it's Grimtooth bar and bunker, the original one that comes with the game. That's I believe it was built by James Turner. He built all of the lots for this game pack, but it's kind of a nod to that one. And I also definitely took inspiration for the kind of underground basement area from his build as well, because it makes sense storyline wise, and we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, like I said, the restaurant is fully functional. The restaurant is basically this building space, and then I have some outdoor seating as well, and the bar is technically the big bus out front. That's where the bar is. All of the other bar related items and stuff like that, it's basically just tables and stuff. And then I have a underground portion that you will see me flip between going underground, above ground, all of that stuff. But this underground portion is supposed to be a special or secret, not really secret because the door isn't all that secret, if I'm being honest, but it's supposed to be a private, I guess you could say, space for werewolves only. So that's why I used that werewolves only door from the pack. It's supposed to only allow werewolves to go through it. But when I was playtesting this build, it didn't. It just allowed any sim to go through it. So I don't know if it's something that you need to enable yourself and lock the door for other sims apart from werewolves. I didn't test that. I didn't have a look at it, but I believe it's supposed to just keep out normal sims as a rule. Like if you put it down, regular Sims aren't supposed to be able to use it. But that didn't work when I was playtesting this build. So I don't know if it like didn't work because I had it set as a restaurant, or I don't know. I think I playtested it as... I can't remember what I playtested it as. I know I playtested it as a restaurant, but I can't remember when I noticed that it wasn't working, if that makes sense. But anyway, either way, we have another space downstairs that's kind of supposed to be like a staff area. So it's kind of like a staff kitchen. So I have a little mini fridge in there, a coffee machine, a microwave, you know, just stuff where the staff would gather and maybe like keep their things and stuff like that. So I have like a little coat rack in there, you know, just stuff like that. And then like separately we have obviously this whole like werewolf basically bunker, if that makes sense. And I wanted it to again pay tribute to the original one on the big lot that I will be turning into something completely different. But I wanted to pay tribute to that one in the sense where I wanted to make it look a little bit like it's a kind of like an old storm drain type thing. So I don't want to say sewer because sewer sounds so nasty. And I don't think it would have been a sewer. I think it would have been like stormwater runoff kind of stuff, like if, you know, flooding and stuff like that, and it used to be an old drainage system for stuff like that, and it doesn't get used anymore. So somewhere along the line, you know, part of it has been closed off, so that space and, you know, other spaces, they never get wet anymore. So they're basically like just big sealed bunker like rooms, if that makes sense. So the werewolves that come here, they have turned that into kind of like a hangout space. And it's also kind of like almost like a home base kind of space, because I do put in a bedroom with 3 bunk beds down there eventually. I have 2 separate bathrooms that have showers in them. The restaurant portion upstairs that we're working on right now does have a bathroom for guests, so there's a toilet and a sink. But then the one downstairs in the like bunker is like full bathroom, so they have showers in them as well. And then there's just a bunch of like, I guess, hangout stuff. So, you know, like couches. I use this big projector TV screen from, honestly, I can't remember. I can never remember the name of the kit that it came with. It's the like outdoor kid kit or something like that. I cannot remember. We've gotten so many kits over the past couple of years that they're all kind of like, the names of them are all kind of like starting to blur together. But I used a couple of those items from that kit as well. I used these tables, I used the chairs, I used the games table from it as well in the bunker. That big projector that I told you guys about, that kind of just looks like a sheet that someone has put up, so, you know, to watch TV and stuff. I have that down there. I have a couple of workouts things. I have the games table. I put in a foosball table as well, I believe. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do downstairs, and because it's supposed to be werewolves only if the door ends up working, it's kind of like a secret or private bunker space for them to come and hang out. Now, the reason that I decided to put it on a restaurant lot, that kind of like hangout bunker space, obviously this is for my save. And I do have a reason for doing everything that I do for my save. Like, there's a method to my madness, basically. And I will be doing another kind of like bunker, very similar to that one probably, in one of the other builds that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing another community lot, and then the big lot where the bar used to be, or the original bar is, in Moonwood Mill. That's where I'm going to be building another family house, and then on the library lot, I'm going to be doing something else, but it's still going to be a community lot. But in that one, I am going to have another bunker basement type thing, hangout space for werewolves, because it makes sense. But the reason I decided to put one on this lot, and even though it's a restaurant and not a bar, even though obviously, like I said, you could run it as a bar, you would have no issues. Maybe if you wanted to, if I were to run this as a bar myself, I didn't do this when I was doing the build for it, just because it annoys me a lot of the time in gameplay when my Sims are very attracted to like stereos and stuff. And I did put a stereo downstairs in the bunker, but I was okay with that because like normal Sims, when they come to the restaurant or when they come to the bar, they wouldn't be able to go down there, or they're not supposed to be able to go down there with that door, so they wouldn't be able to use those items. So usually it kind of annoys me when Sims autonomously turn on the stereo when I'm playing. It just irritates me if I'm not the one that, you know, chooses to make my Sims listen to music, and there's all of a sudden there's like music playing, and it just annoys me. So I didn't put a stereo upstairs anywhere for Sims to listen to music to if they're at the bar. But if you wanted to do that, there are a lot of spaces where you could put one in where it wouldn't look out of place. Maybe putting a small Lindsay speaker inside, or maybe like just one of the wall speakers as well could work very, very easily if you wanted to put that inside. Maybe like outside on the deck area, that could work too. But yeah, that's just something that you could very easily add in if you wanted to have this as a bar and have a stereo upstairs. But yeah, so that's just something that I thought I should mention. Now, the reason, I mean, the original lot was a bar that had the bunker obviously on the lot as well, but it made sense because it was a bar and like it was a very big lot. So yeah, anyway, the reason that I was fine with it being on this lot, even though it's a restaurant and even though it would probably be quite busy and it wouldn't just have locals coming to it, is because this lot is actually going to be owned by Celine Lopez, who's one of the Sims that came with the Werewolves game pack. She's one of the only, I believe she might be the only non-werewolf Sim that came with that pack, I believe. I don't think any of the other Sims that came with the pack were like regular Sims. I believe they were all werewolves. So she is one of the Sims where, kind of like in the story of the pack, she and Lou actually went on a date at one point and they were attacked in the forest by Greg. Obviously Greg is the like scary loner werewolf that hangs out in the forest in the trailer. And he attacked them and Lou was turned into a werewolf, whereas Celine wasn't. But she has a bunch of scars on her, and like I believe she has scars on her back, on her stomach, I think, on her arm and on her leg and all of that stuff. So she was lucky she didn't end up turning into a werewolf. But ever since then, you know, she's stayed in Moonwood Mill and she's basically become a part of the community anyway, even though she's not part of any of the werewolf packs and she's not even a werewolf. But yeah, so she owns this restaurant, and in the original lore of the town, she is actually the one that's supposed to own the bar. But obviously in The Sims 4, you can't own like bar lots in the game. It doesn't work. So, you know, lore-wise, she's supposed to own it. But in my save, I actually made it so that she owns this restaurant. And I'm gonna playtest it because I don't want her to live on a lot. So I want her to be in the bin, if that makes sense, in the Sim bin. And I kind of just want to play around with it and see if it works, you know, having someone own a lot, but then not technically live anywhere. And yeah, I don't know, I've never done that before. So I did do a little bit of reading, and some people say that you can do that, some people say that you can't. So yeah, I'm just gonna play around with it a little bit and see what I can come up with. But either way, I do have her registered as self-employed and registered as like being the owner of this place. So even if she can't actually or like technically own this lot, I'm gonna like just pretend that she is, or like that she does, and that's just going to be the story that we're gonna go with. And that's why I felt okay with having the bunker on this lot anyway, or having a bunker on this lot, because Celine owns it and she definitely knows what's going on in this town. Like, she is totally up to speed with what's going on. And I do feel like some of the werewolves, you know, they might try and hide it from, obviously, from outsiders and stuff like that. It's not something that, you know, they're gonna go like along this, walking along the street in Willow Creek telling everyone that they're a werewolf. It's not like, that's not gonna happen. But I feel like Celine would totally know what's going on in the town, and she's kind of like, she's obviously the resident mundane, if that makes sense, or the resident normie of the town, and she's probably the only like non-werewolf that, or probably one of the few non-werewolves that live in Moonwood Mill, and they're totally okay with living alongside a bunch of werewolves and fine with what that means and all of that stuff. So yeah, so that's why I figured, you know, this would make sense, it would be totally fine, and she would totally be okay with that. So yeah, I don't know, at the beginning of this build I was playing around with the idea of adding some sort of apartment, or I don't know, maybe like small trailer somewhere on the lot to make it look like, you know, she lives on the lot as well. And I decided to scrap that idea, just because gameplay wise it would have made it kind of annoying if you have Sims coming to this lot and then all of a sudden they want to go and like use the trailer, and you know, you wouldn't be able to lock the trailer if you don't own it. So it would have been a whole annoying thing that I didn't want to deal with. So we can pretend that she bought this lot, or she bought this plot of land that had this really old building on it. It used to be a house or something, and it just so happens to have access to this underground, like, you know, storm water system as well, and you know, all of that stuff. Maybe it was sold as a house, but instead of actually living here, she decided to turn it into the restaurant, and we can pretend that maybe she lives in a really nice kind of like fun, funky trailer or something somewhere else close by in the town, and she's totally fine with like living in a trailer. She doesn't need more space than that, and kind of in my head maybe like caravan RV type of thing. So yeah, she's totally fine with that. I know people that live like that and they absolutely love it because they can move their house wherever they want to be. So yeah, it's very fun. I wouldn't be able to do that because I have too much stuff, and I need a lot of space for my stuff, and I don't do well in cramped spaces. But anyway, that is so off topic. But yeah, we've actually moved on to working on the downstairs, and this is that little like staff kitchen, staff room type thing that I was telling you guys about. I did use quite a few things from Journey to Batu, because I don't know, I feel like it kind of like fit the vibe of this like weird industrial vibe, and I don't know, I like the way a lot of those like big crates and stuff just looked. So yeah, I used some of those things. I can't remember what else I used from it. I know this big like wall grate that I sized up is from Journey to Batu. I don't think I used anything else from it apart from those like decorative crates and stuff like that. I don't think I used anything that's functional, if that makes sense, or anything that would make the build look or function differently if you didn't have that pack. So yeah, if you don't have it, you should be fine. You'll probably be missing like I said, some decorative things, but that's not the end of the world. And then I just put a ton of graffiti down here, like, you know, the werewolves have like added some color to the place and added some artwork and a bunch of just mismatched furniture, and you know, I had a lot of fun with this downstairs bunker. It was kind of fun building building something that is a little bit more rundown and a little bit more grungy, and I don't know, just lived in than my recent builds have been. So yeah, doing this was a lot of fun. Now, I do want to say, I promised myself that I was not going to like use this video to apologize for not posting more, and I'm not going to do that. But I do want to tell you guys that I am working on a couple of really fun things. Some of them for the save file, some of them are other things that I can't talk about yet, but that's really fun, that will be coming up soon to the channel, and those builds are a little bit bigger, so that is why videos haven't been as frequent as I would like, and also just because I am still sick. it's a whole thing. I don't need to go into it again, but yeah, I've been sick for like the past month and it's really irritating me at this point because yeah, and things have just been very busy. This week on Monday, some contractors actually came in. I had to be up like, I think I was up at like 7 a.m. and I got like 5 hours of sleep because I had to be up super early to move everything out of my bedroom because contractors came to replace the ceiling in my bedroom. So it was a complete, forgive my French, but shit show. It was a complete shit show. It was absolutely, honestly, it was an absolute nightmare having to move everything out and then back in when they were done, and the house was so incredibly dirty and dusty and just gross, and I need to do it all again next week when they come to paint the ceiling and paint my walls as well, which I am not looking forward to whatsoever. But yeah, it's been a whole thing, and having to deal with people, and just yikes. I'm not a people person. I don't like having people in my house, especially strangers. So having like 5 strange men in my house at one point, it's annoying. So yeah, it took a lot out of me, especially after a like end of the month weekend when I had to do grocery shopping for the whole month, and I spent like 9 hours in town on Saturday, which is probably a record, to be honest. I don't think I've ever done grocery shopping and it's taken me 9 hours, so that was not fun. But anyway, moving on. I'm just rambling at this point. We're almost done with this build. We're just going to be doing a lot of terrain paint. I was going to say a little bit, but yeah, we do a lot of terrain paint. I layered so many different terrain paints on this one. If the glitch happens where it deletes all of my terrain paint, I am going to cry. But yeah, so we're just going to be doing a lot of terrain paint, a couple of finishing touches, I think, to some of the landscaping, but I think the rest of this video is just terrain paint. But after that, we're going to go ahead, jump on into the game, and I'm going to give you guys a tour and show you around the place a little bit better than you probably would have been able to see in the speed build portion of this. So here we are with the finished build. This is the finished, I believe I called it the bunker mill bar and grill originally, but the original lot I believe is called Prowler's Patch, as you guys can see. But yeah, it is currently set up as a restaurant. I do currently have it set up as a restaurant, but it can also function as a bar, and as you can see, it fulfills all of the requirements. Let me just put it back to restaurant so I can show you I gave it the chef's kitchen lot rate, not because I figured that this kitchen would be particularly like luxurious or anything like that, but just gameplay wise, it usually helps to make sure that your Sims get okay food at least, and that their food isn't bad when they get it. But I do have, like you can see, I do have some custom, you know, outfits for the staff set up, and I am using some Journey to Batu outfits for the hosts because I don't know, I like the way it looked. And then I do have some menu items as well. I have a fairly big menu set up, and I'm also using a couple of the Journey to Batu like menu items for this place as well, like the Black Spire Brew, Blurg Fire, I believe, and Mugen tea, stuff like that. Stuff that look weird, like the Outpost popcorn mix, and you know, some of the other funny looking things like the Felucian garden spread, and some of those weird things. They're all from Journey to Batu. But I don't know, I felt like they fit the weird vibe that this place has, if that makes sense. But let me just give you guys a quick little top-down view while we're here. So this is the top-down view of basically the only upstairs floor, and then obviously we also have the downstairs bunker basement thing. But when you come into the lot, you actually have a little fire pit area. I don't think I did this on camera, But I did put in a little fire pit space. We have obviously some outdoor seating for the restaurant. We have the bar space set up over here. Then we have this like shipping container door that leads you into the basement, or the underground, I guess you could say. But up here we have obviously the restaurant. We have a little like kitchen that, like, I guess the chef station is one of those that's set into the wall, kind of more, I guess, outdoor diner vibe, if you could say it like that, like food truck vibe, I don't know. But yeah, so we have that. We have the indoor dining space, just in case the weather is like really, really miserable outside. Then your Sims can come inside and have some food. We have the little tiny bathroom for the guests to use. It's definitely not a bathroom that I would personally want to use because it looks nasty. I'm just gonna say that. The kitchen also is not the like cleanest thing ever, but it gets the job done, I guess you could say. And that is basically the whole upstairs. The rest of the lot is just stuff that I filled up with landscaping. I also did a lot of like terrain manipulation around this bunker entrance just to make it blend in a little bit better. And I did that off camera because I messed around it for ages before I actually did it. So yeah, so this is the little bunker entrance. And when you come down, so in here, basically, I didn't put in anything in here just for like gameplay routing wise. I also forgot to put in a, like, not staircase, a railing over there, which I will go in and fix before I upload it, because that seems like a little bit of a health hazard, you know. If you trip and fell, then you'd be rolling down the stairs. So I will go in and put in a railing up there. But when you come down the staircase, you just have this little, like, I guess, storage hallway almost that you, like, leads you into the staff, like, kitchen space. So maybe this is where they have, like, the staff schedules and, you know, they can hang up their keys, their coats, bags, you know, all of that stuff. They have a little, like, mini fridge, a little coffee pot, as like microwave and a sink, and that's basically all they have. And then over here we have that werewolf door. Only werewolves can use this door. Now, like I mentioned in the voiceover, when I playtested this lot, that wasn't the case. I had normal Sims walking through this door, but I don't know if that was just whether, I don't know if that was because I was playtesting this as a restaurant, or if it was just my game being buggy, or what the case was with that. But only werewolves are supposed to be able to use that door. But yeah, so when you go through that door, you have this whole like bunker setup specifically for werewolves. So we have some workout equipment, we have a little games table, we have a foosball table, we have a like big, like, I guess you could say almost living room-esque type space where they have a projector screen set up, they have a game console, like jukebox over there in the corner. There's a ton of graffiti and all of that stuff all over the place as well. And if you come, your Sims can actually walk up here, but I did put in a staircase just to be safe. Over here we have 2 full bathrooms with toilets, sinks, showers. And then in this side we have a couple of bunk beds, and I did put in a computer as well, just gameplay wise. It's useful to have. And that is basically the entire build, you guys. So if you want to download this, it is up on the gallery. If you want to go ahead and find it, you can look for my gallery ID, which is just ChrissieYT, or I will have a gallery download link below, as well as the link to the gallery website. And the tray files obviously will be up for channel members, and in 3 weeks they'll be going up for everyone on my Tumblr. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give the video a like. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more Sims content, feel free to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell as well to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Because yeah, like I said, my upload schedule is all over the place at the moment, so definitely make sure to turn on notifications so that you don't miss it when I upload, because I don't currently have much of an upload schedule just because of real life stuff. So yeah, make sure to turn that on so you don't miss anything. But I hope you're all having a great day and a great week, and I'll talk to you all in my very next video. Bye everyone.